Assalamu alaikum dear students, again taking the same pace for grammar in context. I'm going to continue my previous lecture with my today's information, that is again what are the common areas for the L2 learners in English language grammar. So, fine. So I have come up with a lot of books you may see in front of me, that you may take an example of any book as your master if your teacher is not available to improve your grammatical structure. Definitely all the time your teacher is not available online to you, or it's not your internet that may help you out to avoid plagiarism, that may correct your sentences. So bring some grammatical competency among you so that you may at least write down few possible sentences which you want to write down for your area or for your idea to be conveyed to your receivers. So follow. I do have Alan Atherton's book. I do have Renan Martin along with me, and for technical writing definitely I have Ashraf Rizvi's Business Communication. Definitely if not the exact lines are given to you, definitely for the literary students in these books, you may take an idea how to improve your language. So I have come up with few of the names of the books for you that may improve your learning in grammar and grammatical structures. So grammatical competence is the first area that must be there in your any research paper on which we are having an intensive debate from the last few lectures. Over to the next point that we want to improve. Yes, the agreement between subject and verb is very important for the students. For the complex sentences to be generated, definitely this subject verb agreement is very much difficult and one of the challenge for the students, that what the verb should I use for this one particular subject. So again, Renan Martin has a complete one article on it, on one chapter, with a lot of different examples and lot of exercises to improve your grammatical pattern. This is one what I cannot provide you online, but you may do it at your home while having this one book in your hand, that is none other than Renan Martin's High School English Grammar book. So let's move on, that how to avoid the errors in our subject verb agreement, and definitely developing our subjects for the countable or uncountable nouns are always problematic, as I said. So avoiding it is only possible when you are consulting some good book on grammar. Article use, the use of a, an and the with countable or uncountable and academic nouns are always possible. With the, let's say for example, if the noun is the data, what to be used after it? The data is or data are? Well, this is all about how you differentiate it along with your personal writing, your data onto the board. And this is what how possible with a good book in your hand, that data is means you are defining the result of your one piece of data, and data are means you are taking multiple informations of your selected text in the form of plural noun. So it is only possible when you are doing it while doing it with some book. Prepositions are always problematic area. Yes, one more technical term, and again problem is that we do not focus on the books. We do not follow the books or the literary books that are available to us on the behalf of improving our grammar. Translation, definitely not possible from English to Urdu, but yes, if you want to translate your any Urdu idea that comes to your mind as an L2 learner, how to modify it? Yes, it is also possible through your Google. Yes, voice. You give the notes to your Google and it will definitely translate it to you. There are certain softwares available to you, but still grammatical errors can only be corrected if and until you do not follow the book. Having read the article, the argument was clear. Who read it? So this is what how the question is, and who did it, who does read it. This is all about how the grammar will help you out. Grammar for academic argument. Use hedging, the language of caution, that means precise language, and that means the precise lexical words or lexical items which are suitable for your area. It means for literature we have our figurative language and the descriptions in the given novels and the dramas, and for linguistics we do debate on the phonological patterns, on the morphological patterns, semantic or syntactic level of the analysis of the text. So whatever, I'm just talking about one of the area, and at syntactic level, again, it may go on from word level to a sentence level and so on. So this is all about how you work out your own plan, how to do it. So technical words do not be or are not replaced by any other words which are simpler. So it means you need to use the same technical words which are of the same area. Also avoid over claiming. So this means over exaggeration, over claiming is always problematic for the writer. Use attributive clauses. For example, for integrating sources, Smith, who studied X, found that conditional structure. So it means who studied what. If I go there, what will happen next? Teacher's task for the students that works in the classroom could be to take a student's paragraph in the classroom or a published journal abstract and try to make and develop it into a new form from the student's end. So I would recommend you choose any one good research paper of your own interest area, and this is the way how you also would be able to write down the literature review on your selected topic. So annotate or try to derive the main information into your own words. And the teacher's task is to definitely watch it out, to improve the wording of the student and to let the student know that what are the main focus areas he or she has to focus on. So for BS English students in academic writing, most grammar errors fall into 8 patterns. And I'm going to give you what these are and how to fix all. The very first one, as I was talking about the subject-verb agreement. For example, the error is the results of the study shows a significant trend. So to fix it, identify the real subject, results. It is the plural. So the results show, improve it. Underline the subject and verb in every sentence when ending. Watch for the phrases like one of the students, who are, not, or who is doing. Again, who is also problematic until and unless you do not know whether it is singular or plural in its sense. Then sentence fragmentation. How to divide your sentence into part for its coordination or subordination. Example of the error is, although the data was incomplete, we still analyzed it. So join the dependent clause to the main clause. For example, this might be corrected in the form of, although the data was incomplete, we still analyzed it. So read each sentence aloud. If it sounds incomplete, it probably is. Check that every sentence has a subject plus finite verb and the complete thought. The wrong tense and the tense shifting is always again one of the most problematic area. The culture that influences the behavior and the influenced identity, for example, could be problematic. Smith argued, I'm taking the lines of some research paper, Smith argued that culture influences behavior and influenced identity. So it means in the beginning of the sentence there was a past tense. How is that possible that after that we are going to use present indefinite? So in that form, fix it according to your direct and indirect rules. Again, you need to focus, and the sentence would become, Smith argued that culture influences behavior and influences identity. Or it might be in the form of, Smith argued that culture, behavior and identity are always influenced under certain circumstances. So improve it by using simple sentence or by making the truth in your literature review. Past simple for the methods, present perfect for ongoing research trends, and definitely simple tense for the general information, that is literature review or that is the truth you are going to describe. I am giving you a very useful tip. For your introduction chapter, you may use present simple tense. For methods you have used in your study, you may use simple past tense, and for the ongoing research trends, you may use present perfect tense. This is what we have studied. The studies have been shown through this one. One more is the use of articles, misuse of articles. The research was conducted in university. It is not in university, it is in a university or in the university if it's a specific one. So ask if the noun is countable and uncountable. Again, this problem can also be fixed. Specific or general information for academic writing overuses the. So cut it when it's not needed. In academic writing, always to use the definite article the is not advisable, or it is not advised by the researchers or the supervisors. So avoid it as much as you can. And then we have another one, that how to make, having reviewed on the literature, the hypothesis was clear. Make sure the subject of the main clause is the one doing the action. Having reviewed the literature, we found the hypothesis clear, improve it. So check that introductory ing or ed phrases refer to the subject right after the comma. Parallelism errors, and this is what I was already talking about in my previous lecture. The data collected, analyzed, and the results or conclusions were drawn. Make all these items match or in order. For example, the study aimed to collect data, analyze research results, and draw conclusions. First you collect the data, then you draw the results or analyze the results, and then you draw the conclusion. So improve your scaling of all the verbs you are using one after another. All the items should be in the same grammatical form as you are using the first one. This is parallelism in your writing. Use of wrong prepositions always. Problems, yes. Collocations, we do not know where to use big game or where to use large game or where to use a tall game. The study focuses on students would be definitely right. Depends on the results, differ from, contributed to. This is what, like we have already been learning it since our childhood. Aim at or aim with. Agree with or agree to. These are the problems with our language of learning English, for the reason that these prepositions are not as much common to us being the second language learners as we know it through our Urdu language. So we try to put our L1 influence on L2 whenever we are learning our prepositions. The last but not the least one are the contractions we are going to use in our data description, and the data does not really show that it's a big deal. I am going to put some emphasis on it because it's contracted form of our spoken language. In spoken you can do that, but in writing these contractions, these ellipses are not allowed. The data does not clearly indicate that the effect is significant. Now the proper sentence must be used to avoid any ambiguity or to give a formal look to your document. Deal with, get in a lot of how to actually improve, not just memorized rules. It is all how you are going to use them. So it means pass for content, second pass just for grammar. You will catch 60% more errors. So it means first you read out your content. In your second reading, you must read your grammatical efficiency in the given or in the written text. Take a published article in your field, highlight how they use tenses, transitions, and reporting verbs. Imitate the structure as they have already used in their research paper. Read aloud. If you want to stumble, the sentence is likely wrong. Peer review is one more effort that you may put onto your writing. You miss your own errors, trade papers, and focus only on grammar, because we cannot pick up our own errors. So finding out errors by our peers or by our other colleagues would be quite helpful for us before we go towards our supervisors, or likewise definitely supervisors are there for helping you out as your teachers or mentors. But the thing is, until and unless you do not put your writing and share your writing with a person who has at least some command on the same topic or onto the language that in which you are writing, your draft, definitely it will help you out more. It will make you learn more. So this peer reviewing is always a better choice whenever you are going for the final drafting of your writing. This is not all, I know, this is quite less in our grammar debate. Moreover, you may learn your parts of speech, you may also learn, or you should learn actually, your all phrases and clauses in English language. I could not make a long debate on the sentence construction and the sentence development in English language, but there are many other subjects in which I have talked about it. So you may take the reference of any teacher who is teaching you grammar. You may refer your all problems to the teachers to whom you are closer, fine, and you may come to me all the time. You are welcome. Whoever is teaching you, I always welcome my students to come to me for fixing their issues, especially in language. If you face any issue, any problem, and you are interested to write down a research paper, I'm again announcing, you may come to me with your idea. I would try to come up with some more choices for you and to make it better for you for publication. So move on. Write down a story of yourself and then move on towards your research paper. That's quite a better choice. Writing down your daily diary and then writing down an imaginative story to writing down your third proficient level is drafting a research paper. So these are all the stages, in our writing that we take. Our upcoming lectures would be all about that, how to improve your writing for the exams, also for any competitive exam, and for sure for your writing assignments and other drafts of your academic area. This is all about our today's lecture, and your fixation of the grammatical errors are completed here. We will be talking about the dictionary skills, we will be talking about your vocabulary development, and definitely drafting your academic writing in that argumentative way that your learners or your readers would be able to understand what you want to say clearly. This is all about our contacting our language for grammatical competence. See you inshallah in our next lecture. Till that time, have a nice day. Stay blessed.